Hello, everybody. I hope you guys are all having a great day. You know, when I look back at my life, I used to look back at it and years ago, I used to get upset because my mom didn't love me, and I get upset because my dad never gave me any attention. And as my children, as my older children got older, and they had a pretty good life, I'll be honest with you. I made a lot of money, I bought them a lot of stuff, and that's one thing my dad never did for me. So, and that's what I thought love was, honestly. I thought love was being a provider and didn't really know about the whole nurturing thing because I didn't have a mom to nurture me. So when my kids got older, they started telling me, you know, how they blamed me for their bad attitude. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Hang on a minute. I'm not to blame for your bad attitude. It's because you don't want to do blah, 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 blah. Anyways, I started realizing that the way that my parents treated me was probably the way they were treated by their parents. So it helped me realize that when we get older, having a bad childhood because of a lack of attention from our parents, our parents did the best job that they could, and it helped me let go. I didn't hold a grudge against them anymore. And it's not that I really held a grudge against him, I wouldn't say, but, you know, because I always loved my dad. I just didn't really connect to him because he was very distant. He didn't have that nurturing aspect. So I always felt like there was a wall there. But I now understand that the reason the wall was there was because there was a wall between him and his parents. You know, when we can look back at things and realize that things happen for us to grow from, it's not so hard to think that maybe it happened for my good. Because I'll be honest, I wouldn't be the person I am today if I didn't experience every single thing that I experienced in my life. Honestly, I know that when we go through hard times, they're meant for us to rely on God. They're meant for us to go inside and start that conversation with God to help us get through it in a loving, truthful, honorable way. They're not meant for us to go and blast somebody or talk bad about them or yell at them. They're truly meant for us to be able to reflect internally and see where our struggles are as to why this is happening, and to lean on God for assistance. When we can put our faith unconditionally in God and we can't see him, he acts on our behalf 100% all the time. But most of the time, people will put their faith on what's right in front of them. They get fearful, anxiety, angry because of what's going on in front of them. And when we feel that we have no choice except to behave in a bad way, then we're missing the whole purpose of believing in God and having faith. My life, I look back on it and I love it. I love every problem I've ever faced. I love every breakup I've ever had because it made me who I am today. And I like me. I love me. Finally, I love me and I love being me. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm realizing that too. I don't have to put a mask on to actually go out in public and pretend to be somebody that I'm not. I would much rather go out there and start going crazy listening to music, and trust me, I do that. I'll blare the music up and I'll be sitting there rocking and singing and everything, you know, but that's who I am. I want to be happy. My son always tells me, can you turn it down? I can hear it over my headphones. I'm like, fine, Killjoy, turn it down a little bit. I'll still rock out in the store or in the car, and, you know, I'll be sitting there and people will be looking at me funny, you know. They'll pull up next to me and be like, what are you doing? Anyways, you know, be silly. Go out somewhere and just be crazy. Not like, you know, lunatical crazy where they're going to lock you up or something, but go out there and be crazy. Be fun. Be happy. Be joyful. When we can finally let go and realize that nothing in this world really matters, it's a lot easier. Because think about it. What in this world are you going to take with you when you die? Nothing. Zero. Nothing at all, except any guilt that you have. Because how many people on their deathbed ask for forgiveness? Really? And then they still carry that guilt with them when they die, because they don't know whether the people that they've wronged are really going to forgive them or not. But they wait until the moment of death to ask for help. That's what happened with my daughter's father. He actually had a heart attack, and this was last year, and he died a couple of weeks later, unfortunately. But his mom met him at the hospital, and he told her mom, "I'm having a heart attack. I'm so sorry for how I've treated you." Again, he waited until the moment of death before he actually said he was sorry. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to carry guilt. I don't want to carry fear. And honestly, why should we? When you've done something wrong, you should apologize to the people that you've wronged, and you should let the guilt go and not do it again. That's what it's meant for. But when we hang on to those feelings, that's when the darkness wins. I've realized over the last few months that I don't have any guilt for how I behaved. I knew I was trying to act on behalf of God to get people to do the right thing, and people just wouldn't. And I can't control other people. I know that. I've always wanted to, trust me. If it was my world, everybody would be happy. Every single person would be happy, period. Anyways, yeah, right. But that's my world. And you know what? And in the environment that I've created, with the exception of having a 16-year-old who's moody, shh, don't tell him I said that. Everybody is happy, period. We are. We don't fight. We don't argue. We don't call each other bad names. We don't steal from one another. And those are all, and nobody walks on eggshells around here, because nobody's afraid of getting yelled at or told that they're a bad person. Everybody is complimented and everybody is encouraged. And that's what should be going on. We should be encouraging people to be better and not yelling at them for their current behavior. Letting them know that they have a choice to grow out of what they're doing. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.